Here's another video. Another antinatalist video. You know, I like to talk about antinatalism the older I get because it's real. I don't want to talk about fake things. I don't want to talk about what's on MTV or what's on the news, or I don't want to talk about work. I don't want to talk about a lot of the things that we talk about. I want to talk about the truth. And the truth is negative to a lot of people. It is a very negative thing. And nobody wants to hear it. They just want to talk to you about low-level things. And I'm really tired of it. I'm tired of having to not focus on things that matter and pretending like it's okay, because it's not. Most importantly, I'm tired of living in this simulation. I keep seeing the same things over and over and over again, and it's on repeat. And you can't make the wrong move too. It's a dangerous game. Right now, I'm driving a car in the middle of the night, and it's dangerous. It's really dangerous. And, you know, I've been driving for a long time. I love to drive. I think it's fun. But I put my life at risk every single day chasing paper, chasing money. Not only do I have to drive and put my life at danger, I put my car at risk, the wear and tear on the car, having to have to commute somewhere 40 hours a week, 80 hours a week, and then still not having enough to actually live your life and go anywhere without being hurt, without having to sacrifice. It's absolutely, totally absurd, and that's another reason why I don't want to bring someone here. It just doesn't make any sense to me. All the things that we've gone through in our lives, we should be living in luxury, every single last one of us. We should all be living in luxury. And then people go, well, you just need to do this, you just need to do that, you just need to do this, you just need to do that. But like I said in the previous video, it doesn't matter what you do. Someone's always going to come around the corner and tell you you should have did something else. And that's the reason why you're not where you want to be. And that's a lie. It's all been a lie. You know, another thing I want to talk about is children. You know, when you have children in this dimension, they're not really your children. And that's what a lot of parents don't think about. A lot of people, men and women, don't think about. They're not your children. Right when they're born, you give them away to the government. They're given a Social Security. They're forced to attend school. If you don't make them go to public school or set up some type of some indoctrination of a sort, you can go to jail. They can reprimand your children from you. Who is they? Who are these people? What are we even talking about? Now that I'm older, when I see people, I see children. I see a bunch of babies who just went to sleep over and over again, and now one day, and then they tried to work up enough courage and confidence to be somebody and to tell somebody what to do, and then one day they woke up and said that all this land is mine. Fuck you. What? You're just a baby a couple days ago. Who are we listening to? Children? This whole world is run by, we're all just a bunch of children. So why should anybody listen to anybody? Nobody knows. Everything that we think that we know is just an hypothesis. It's just an educated guess. And the worst thing about being confused about everything that we think that we know is that we sure do know for a fact that we're a slave, and that we're enslaved in some weird dimension, some dark planet that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, we sure know that, that's for sure. Hey, but you know what though? Like I said, I don't want to make it a negative page. I see a lot of antinatalists and they always just talk about the negative sides of things, but there is a positive side. And that's what drives me crazy, is that I'm mature enough to know that the reason why I'm in darkness is because so that whenever I do eventually see light, I appreciate it. You have to understand both sides of the spectrum to be able to be grateful for the entirety of the picture. That's the reason why evil and goodness exist. And a lot of stuff messes me up. When I used to talk to pastors before I formed my own mind, I used to present a lot of factual evidence, a lot of conflicting factual evidence. Like Isaiah 45:7, it says, I am the light and I am the darkness, I the Lord do all these things. I bring that to a pastor. He's like, he's trying to justify it. You can't justify it. It says clear and day. Since we want to be specific and talk about where can you pull it up in the scriptures, Isaiah 45:7. I am the Lord, I am the light and I am the darkness. I, the Lord, do all these things. That means that he's the one who's creating all these political and racial, all the inequality and the racial housing inequality and the political inequality and the evil that's going on. He created that. That is God. But he had to create it. Because how can you appreciate good if you don't know the bad? So a place has to exist where the bad exists. That way it exalts the light. And it's a contradiction of creation. The contradiction of creation. Yeah, now we're talking about things that people don't talk about. And I'm tired of being gaslit about it all. Whenever I start speaking like this about people, they go, what are you talking about? Look at this guy. This guy's, oh my God. Oh, he must be a psycho. Oh my God, he's on drugs. Shut up. I'm the only one making any sense. And I'm the only one in my reality who speaks about this stuff. I see stuff on the internet, different antinatalists. But in my actual reality, my physical manifested world around me, nobody says a word about it. It's like I'm living in a lie, a simulation or something. It's like it's taboo. It's taboo to talk about being on a floating planet in the middle of eternity and not knowing what's going on, and that we're slaves, and that there's demons walking around, and that there's angels walking around, and they're invisible, but they're actually there. A lot of weird stuff has happened in my 32 years of life. I've seen all types of weird things. I've seen people floating. I've seen possessions. I've astral projected in my sleep real far to different places and come back to slavery in this life. And then the psychological trauma of being aware of all this and trying to deal with it, it's absurd. And then when you start to speak to somebody about it, everybody says you're crazy. See, something's wrong, But you got to be strong. But like I say, I don't want to just talk negative. It is a possibility that we are in training. We could be in deep space training, all of us. We could be spirits in training, because we have learned a lot of things here, We have learned a lot of things. But to what end? As my stepdad used to tell me. He used to always come to me when I'd be designing video games when I was a kid, and he would go, to what end, Brandon? To what end are you doing this for? And I wouldn't know. I would go, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. To what end do I do it? I don't know. Now that I'm older, I know. And it's to the end in which I care. Now that I'm older, to what end is the extent in which I care? Benedict Times the Vegan makes some very important points when he says, you gotta just stop caring. Caring is the root of all suffering. And I agree with that. The less you care, the less you're hurt. But you gotta care while going forward. You gotta still be progressing while not giving a fuck. And it's a superpower, it is. But yeah, all the things that I'm talking about, these are the reasons why I don't believe in nowadays bringing somebody here. I wouldn't want my daughter to drive these same roads that I'm driving with these lights glaring in my face and all the possibilities of negativity that could happen while I'm on the road. And it does happen. It's not a possibility, it does happen because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. All the times we had to commute out here trying to survive. I live in Bakersfield, California, and they're charging the amount that people would charge to live next to an ocean, to a beachfront or something like that. I live in a damn armpit valley dirt desert in the middle of nowhere, charging $2,000 a month and stuff for a nice place to live, and 4,000. You gotta make 4 times the amount. If I made 4 times the amount, I wouldn't even be here. I'd be in a different country or something, or I'd be in a better situation, you know? And I'm not completely down and out, you know, I'm doing pretty okay, but not okay. I'm doing okay. I'm just like everybody else, just barely hanging on, you know? Just barely hanging on. But yeah, you know, I want to start making these videos because I know that it brings comfort in situational awareness to know that you're not alone. That's happening to all of us. That we're all stuck in the simulation, that we're all being mentally tortured alive in every single way possible. That it's not just you. I fight off spiritual attacks every single day. Spirits jump into people and they come at me and try to ruin me and break me. And they do it all the time, and I'm calling it out. And I see it. People's eyes change. You'll see a spirit in their eye. Their face will distort at times if you get too comfortable and you let people just go off and be themselves. They'll reveal you. They'll reveal to you the truth of this dimension, and that it's evil. Got to be on your toes because he's out there roaming around like a lion. See, and this is why it's good to listen to antinatalism from somebody who's older, because they don't just talk about, oh, I hate life, oh, this is lame, oh, I'm so upset. No, let's talk a little bit deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Until my next video.